Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be discussing about the current openings as in-house legal counsel. Since in-house legal counsel is the most varied and exciting interest for all the law students and recent law graduates and even working professionals, they all want to work and join in as in-house legal counsel. So today we'll be highlighting and focusing on all the openings that are there in the market right now and the companies which are hiring for in-house positions. A big disclaimer, we are in no way associated with any of the company and we are in no way associated with or hiring for the all the positions that would be listed in this video. If you feel that you are eligible enough to apply for all those positions, feel free to go to naukri.com and LinkedIn Jobs and apply on those specific portals on those specific openings. Now let's begin with today's video. So the first opening that we have is with Oyo, and Oyo is hiring for associate, senior associate, associate manager, and assistant manager. All those profile is with legal domain, and they are hiring for their in-house position. Now, what are their requirements? Now, their requirement revolves around end-to-end contract lifecycle management, wherein you will be maintaining all their records, agreements, repositories, all their documentation. And apart from that, you'll also be making sure that you need to check what is the start and end date expiring of the agreement, and you are able to do renewals on time. Apart from that, the major task that you will be involved in is vetting and drafting of various kind of agreements, including but not limited to lease, leave and license agreement, franchisee agreement, and other related agreements such as employment agreement and all. So you will be involved in reviewing and negotiations of those agreements. So the major skill that you need to have before applying to this job role is that you need to have end-to-end contract lifecycle management knowledge and experience with regards to vetting of agreement, reviewing of agreements, and negotiations of agreements. Next opening we have is of legal associate with Prime Focus Technologies. Now, Prime Focus Technologies is another MNC which is hiring for legal associate, and their roles and responsibilities revolve around drafting and reviewing of various legal documentations, including but not limited to contracts, agreements, and their company's policies. Now, as a legal counsel, you will be involved in reviewing and negotiating on multiple agreements. Apart from that, you'll also be involved in reviewing companies' existing policies and providing feedback on what how the policies could be formulated and framed in a better way. Apart from that, you will also be involved in supporting the other legal teams in contract lifecycle management, wherein you will not just be managing the contract repository, but you'll also be tracking key databases, contract databases, key dates, and also ensuring that renewals are done on time. Apart from that, you will also be involved in the administrative and logistical support to the legal department, wherein you will be coordinating with different departments, providing them with legal advisory as and when required and needed. Apart from that, the general requirement is that you have good communication skills. You are able to communicate with each and every department, understand each and every department roles and responsibilities, and you are able to provide legal advisory and guidance on all the things that are required by those departments. So overall, majority of the thing revolves around contract lifecycle management. So major focus would be on contract lifecycle management. So if you are planning to apply for this job position, make sure that you know in and out of contract lifecycle management, starting from contract vetting to contract negotiation and contract execution. Now the third job opening that we have is with again with legal associate with Jobaaj. It is a unit of Nishta Infotech Private Limited. It's another MNC which is hiring for the position of legal associate, and their requirements is that you should have thorough knowledge of drafting, reviewing, vetting, redlining, and negotiating of various agreements, including but not limited to service agreements, consulting agreements, service level agreements, software subscription agreements, NDAs, vendor agreements, financing agreements, and other related agreements. Now, apart from that, their other requirements are that you will be managing database for the company, and you will be also assisting in drafting and updating of current legal templates and policies. So again, this role revolves around end-to-end contract lifecycle management, wherein you should know in and out of contract review, contract vetting, and contract negotiation. And that is not just limited to basic service agreement, master service agreement, but apart from that, also software agreements and financing agreement. Along with that, they also require that you should have thorough knowledge of contract lifecycle management, not just pre-execution but post-execution as well, so that you can maintain their repository. Now, the next opening we have is with legal counsel, and the company name is Search Advisors Services GUJ. Now, this is another MNC which is hiring for its legal counsel role, and their requirements is that you should have experience in drafting, reviewing, and negotiating various commercial agreements such as vendor agreements, consulting agreements, service agreements, and non-disclosure agreements. You should know how to review and negotiate, considering from the point of view of an employment agency or an employment company. So you should have knowledge in and out of what all the clauses are there in this agreement and how do you review and negotiate those agreements. Apart from that, another requirement is that you should be able to provide legal guidance as and when needed by the respective stakeholders with regards to any of the company matters and affairs. Apart from that, you'll also be requiring to conduct legal research on all the relevant laws and regulations. So all the employment laws, all the labor laws, you should be required to know in and out of that. You should be able to keep an update of any change or amendments being made to those laws and provide company on legal advisory, what all possible things they need to do. Apart from that, you will also be required to collaborate with cross-functional teams to better implement contract lifecycle management so that you'll be able to manage their repository, provide them with all the legal advisory, and provide them with the necessary documentation as and when required. Apart from that, you will also be required to have experience, hands-on experience on litigation management, wherein you are able to coordinate with external counsels, get all get all litigation sorted, and keep a track and update of what all things are going on the ongoing cases. So these are the requirements as legal counsel with Search Advisor Services GUJ. So if you feel that you have all the experience in contract lifecycle management, legal advisory, and litigation management, feel free to apply to this position on Naukri.com and LinkedIn Jobs. So if you can see that majority of the positions and all of the positions have one thing in common. They all require experience in contract lifecycle management. So contract lifecycle management, if you're planning to apply as in-house legal counsel, becomes of utmost importance. And the first thing, if you feel that you don't have knowledge of contract vetting and negotiation, that's the first thing that you need to learn. So if you feel that you need to excel as your career as in-house legal counsel and want more knowledge and guidance on contract vetting and negotiation, feel free to check out our website www.qclilearnings.com. You can find the website link in our channel description. We thank you and appreciate your time. If you require any kind of support, assistance, or guidance, feel free to reach out on the numbers provided on your screen.